Hey there drone fans, Rick here again from Drone Valley. In today's video, I'll be reviewing this really cool 300 watt DC to AC inverter that can quickly and safely convert the 12 volts DC in your car to both AC and USB output that you can use to charge and operate all of your drone gear and other portable electronics anytime you're away from home. Now before I get too deep into the actual review, I always like to start with a quick unboxing just to show you everything that's included with the kit. And in this case, it's going to be a really quick unboxing because there's not a lot inside the box. And then I'll cover the specifications because it's really important you understand exactly what this product can provide, because I've owned a lot of inverters over the years, pretty much with every car that I've had, and I've installed them in the cars and I've used them, and there's a lot of differences between the types of inverters that are on the market. And I like this one an awful lot for a bunch of reasons, and I'll explain those as I go through the review. But let's get started with the unboxing. So as I mentioned, there's not a lot inside the box. When you pop open the box, you're going to find the 300 watt inverter and an instruction manual, and that's it. And I like that because a lot of times you buy a product, there's styrofoam in there, there's plastic in there, and you feel terrible because you're throwing all this stuff out that's going to end up in the dumps. With this one, it's the inverter, it's an instruction manual, and a cardboard box that you can recycle. So really simple product. Now the product itself is a 300 watt inverter. What does that mean? It means once you plug this into your car, it'll provide up to 300 watts total between the AC output and the USB output. And that's quite a bit of power. And there are inverters on the market that are bigger. There's certainly ones on the market that are smaller. But for me, that 300 watts is right in that Goldilocks zone of being the right size, really portable. I can move it from car to car, and it gives me plenty of output power, again, to charge and operate my portable devices when I'm out in the field. So I like that power output. 300 watts is good. The unit itself provides two AC outlets right there. Both of those are 3-prong. Now, what's nice about that is a lot of the inverters on the market have a single AC output. Then if you want to plug two things in, you've got to have a gang plug that you stick in the end of it. Then you've got extra stuff you're bringing along. So I like the fact that they give you two AC outlets. Both of these together, 300 watts. Actually, both of these together and the two USB-A outputs are 300 watts total. So you've just got to be careful that you're not plugging in like a waffle iron or an arc welder or something like that. Keep it under 300 watts, you're going to be just fine. You'll also find two full-size USB-A connections right over there. Both of those deliver 5 volts at up to 2.1 amps each. So they're not fast charging, they're not quick charge or PD delivery, but that's a decent amount of current, and that's pretty much the most you're going to find with most of the chargers you're using at home. So you can plug in a cable here, charge your phone, charge your controller. You can even charge your batteries. It's going to charge them slow. But I like the fact that I've got two AC and two USB. Another thing I like about it is that it's got a connector on the end of it. Sometimes these inverters come with two little lugs on the end where you've got to put your own cable on it and you've got to wire this thing up and then it gets loose. With this one, it's got strain relief built in right here, and you basically have a connection on the end you can plug into your convenience outlet in the car. And what's cool about this is I don't mind the hardwired ones, so I'm going to leave them in my car for some of the bigger ones. But something like this, I can move from car to car. I can take it with me on vacation. So it gives me portability, which is really nice. On the back of the unit, you'll find a power switch. Again, that's pretty unique. A lot of the units on the market, you plug them in, they start working. There's no way to turn them off, so I like that it's got a power switch. It also has a fan, and the fan is incredibly quiet. So when this thing is running, if it starts to get warm, and it's going to get a little bit warm, that fan will turn on. You can barely hear that fan. Another key difference is the case is all aluminum, and that is important because it makes it incredibly durable. It also really helps with the heat dissipation because the electronics inside are going to be working like crazy to convert the 12 volts to AC and the DC output for USB, and they're going to get warm. Well, you got to evacuate that heat. Aluminum does a great job of radiating heat out from the cabinet. A lot of these units nowadays are turning to plastic cabinets, and I worry that they're going to warp over time, and they certainly don't have the heat dissipation capabilities of aluminum. So I like that a lot. And it's small. You'll notice this unit is a lot smaller than other 300 watt units on the market, and that's because of the electronics inside, because they may all look the same, but the way they convert that DC to AC and USB is really, really critical. So they've got a lot of smart electronics inside here that don't run quite as hot as a lot of other units. Plus they're using latest generation technology, which means you can have a smaller unit because a lot of the tech that's involved with converting DC to AC has really shrunk down in size. And a lot of other companies still have really big inverters that deliver 300 watts. So the size is perfect. The control is perfect. It also has a ton of protection built in. So it's watching the temperature internally. So if you've got a really hot car and you're using it, and it senses a high temperature, it's going to turn off. If it senses a short, over current, over voltage, under current, anything that's going to damage the unit, or more importantly, damage the things that are plugged into it, it's going to take care of that and it's going to turn off. So I like that it's smart, I like that it's small, and I really like the fact that it's got an aluminum case. Now, how do you use the unit? Well, this is the simplest part of the review. So if you've got a unit in your car and you've got a convenience outlet like this, I've got a power station on the floor, I'm just simulating your car here. All you have to do is plug this in to the outlet in your car, turn the unit on like that, and you'll notice a power indicator on the front. A lot of these units don't have a power indicator. That's another nice little feature. And it just turned green, which means it's checked the DC, it knows it's 12 volts, it's got plenty of current, and it's ready to rock and roll. Now, all of the ports on the front of this are active at the same time. So if I were out in the field and I wanted to charge my controller, I could simply use a USB cable like this, plug it into the USB outlet, and then plug it into my controller. And you're thinking, well, gee, Rick, that's kind of cool, but like I can use a car charger to do that. That's not that amazing. Well, the AC's working as well, but let me just show you something else. Here are the batteries from the Mavic 3, right? A lot of us are flying the Mavic 3 or we're flying bigger drones like the Avata or something like that that have these bigger batteries. I can actually charge these right off the USB. Now, as I'd mentioned to you, it's only 2.1 amps, which means you can't fast charge these batteries at 2.1 amps. You need a lot more power. But the cool thing is you are charging them. If you want to charge them faster, you can certainly use a standard charger like this. You've got a regular wall charger that's a 65 watter. Just plug that into one of the AC outlets. Use a heavy duty cable, plug that into the USB-C, plug that into the USB-C over here, and all of a sudden, boom, you're fast charging the battery. So the AC puts out enough power to fast charge these batteries, and you can still use the other cable if you want on that charger or even on one of the USB-A ports. So here I am plugging into one of the USB-As, I'm fast charging the batteries, and I'm charging the controller at the same time. So the key here is you've got 300 watts of output that is divided among all the ports that are available. So it allows you to fast charge your big batteries like the Mavic 3 or the Avata or some of the other bigger batteries that are out there, charge your controller. I still have one more USB-A port I could charge my tablet with. I've got another AC port here that I could charge my camera with, whatever I want to charge out in the field. And the beautiful part for me is that the unit is tiny. It's so small. And when I take this with me in the car, it takes up no room in my bag. I can plug it in the car. I immediately have AC output and 2 USB outputs. That works pretty much well, really well for me out there in the field. So that's just a brief example of some of the stuff you can charge. You can use your imagination. Anything you plug into a charger at home, whether it be a DC charger like a wall outlet charger, that type of thing, or if you've got a laptop out in the field, bring your laptop charger, plug it in there. 300 watts, just in relative terms, means you can plug in 3 100-watt incandescent light bulbs to the unit, and they'll all stay on. Now, we're all using LED, we're using compact fluorescence, but I'm trying to give you an idea of how much power this thing can generate, and I'm amazed that something this small can generate that much power from a single plug, which allows you to expand that plug's use, and it doesn't get really hot, which is nice because of the aluminum case. So I like it a lot. I think it's a great little accessory that, forget you're out there droning. You can use it for pretty much anything. If you're on a long road trip or you're going camping or maybe you're going on a travel vacation, you're renting a car, it gives you a way to have AC in the car, USB in the car, just by plugging it into your outlet, convenience outlet on the dashboard. And that's pretty much it. I also like this unit comparatively to other units. It's not on the high end of the scale as far as cost goes, and I like that an awful lot. So comparatively, I think it's a pretty good value compared to some of the other units that I've tested. And that's pretty much it for today. So hopefully you've enjoyed this clip. Now, if you're interested in this, I've got a link below where you can go check it out. I've also got a link to the chargers if you care about those. But I think it's a great product. I think you're going to like it an awful lot. I've been using it for a couple of weeks, and it's just been running flawlessly. So I think it's a pretty cool product. And that's pretty much all I have for today. So thanks a lot for watching. And until next time, as always, happy flying.